Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another lit, hot, and happening video on linear inequalities. Math is fun. Let's get into it. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. Yeah, yeah. Right now, let's have a look at some few basic linear inequalities. Right. Suppose you are given y is less than 2. And you are asked to sketch that linear inequality, right? Y is less than 2. You have to remember that this is not an equation, but it's an inequality. So we draw a broken line across the point 2, or a broken line that will cut the y-axis at 2. The reason why it's a broken line is because of the less than 2. Okay, if it's less than, it means that y is not equals to 2, but actually we are looking at a whole region where y is less than 2. So we are looking at all this region below 2 and not equals to 2. That's why it is a broken line, and hence coming from that less than. Let's have a look at another example. Let's suppose you want to sketch y is less or equals to 4. Now, y is less or equals to 4 will be a straight line again. It cuts through the point y is equals to 4. But as you would have noticed, it is now a solid line instead of a broken line. We are looking at the area, the whole area below 4, but also including 4 because of the less or equals to 4. So all that area there. So just to recap a little bit here. Number one, if we have less than, we have a broken line. That's the first thing. And we are looking at the area under the broken line. Likewise, if we had greater than, let's suppose we had y is greater than 2, still a broken line because it's not equals to, and we would be looking at the area over the point 2, or the region over y is equals to 2. Y is less or equals to 4, our second point. We have less or equals to, we are looking at a solid line because of the equals to, and we are also looking at an area or a region where y is smaller or equals to 4. So it is equals to 4, but it will be under the region where y is smaller, will be the region where y is under the line y is equals to 4. Likewise, we can also write inequalities in terms of x. Let's have a look how we do that. So x is equals to, let's say x is, sorry, I beg your pardon, not equals to. X is less than minus 3, right? So negative x-axis is the axis to the left-hand side. So you take your ruler, you draw a straight line that passes through the point negative 3 on your x-axis, and it will be a vertical line. And less than, it's all the region to the left-hand side. It is not equals to, oops, sorry, made a mistake already. It's not equals to. Did you guys see what I did there? It's not equals to, so it's not supposed to be a solid line. It's supposed to be a broken line because there's no equals to. Please always use a ruler. I'm using a graphics package here which doesn't have a ruler, so please always use a ruler when you are drawing these graphs during exam time. And please always use pencil. You might be penalized if you use pen for these, so please use pencil, please use a ruler. Okay, and likewise, let's suppose we had x is greater or equals to 4. So again, we would draw a solid line this time because there's an equals to solid line going across the point 4, and we are looking for the region to the right of 4. We are looking for where x is bigger or equals to 4. So we're looking for the region to the right of 4 and equals to 4. So it will be all that space on this side here. Okay, so far so good. Now, you might be given also a graph that has a gradient that is non-zero or a gradient that is defined. So, for an example, y is equals to, y is less or equals to x plus 1. We want to find this region here. Y is less or equals to x plus 1. First thing we would do, we want to sketch this graph just like we would sketch a linear equation. This one we can do very quickly. You can find your intercepts, or you can sketch this using your slip and slide method. Where do I start? I start at 1. So I'm going to start there at that point 1, which is my C. I know the graph is going to cut the axis at y is equals to 1 because that is my C there. How do I proceed then? My gradient is 1, or the gradient is change in y over change in x. If it's 1, it means it's 1 over 1. Starting from the point C, I'm going to go 1 unit upwards because it's plus 1. I'm changing 1 unit positive y upwards and 1 unit positive x to the right. Then I take my ruler and I join my starting point and my end point, and I have a graph that goes like this. Okay, so what you will notice is that this graph here has a gradient of 1, and my x-intercept is -1, my y-intercept is +1. I am looking to sketch a region where y is less or equals to 1. I used a solid line for the equals to part. Now for the less part, I have to specify the region under this graph and including this graph. So all this area that's under because of the less than. That would be all this area that's under the graph. Okay, right. Part two, let's have a look at this worked example. Right, let's do this. On the axis given, show the region that satisfies the 3 inequalities. Label the region R. Okay, first things first. We've got greater or equals to there, so we have to draw a solid line, and we are looking for an area that's above the solid line. Right, so let's take graph number 1. 3x plus 2y is greater or equals to 12. Now let's do some calculations there first. 3x plus 2y is greater or equals to 12. If I set x to be equals to 0, I'm using the dual intercept method to find my gradient. If I set x to be equals to 0, I'm going to get y is equals to 12 divided by 2 which is positive 6. If I set y is equals to 0, I'm going to get x is equals to 4, because it's going to be 12 divided by 3. Now, y is equals to 6. I'm going to make a point there. X is equals to 4. I am going to make a point there. And I was expecting a negative gradient anyway, because if you take the 3x to the other side of the inequality, you get a negative 3x, which means that you are going to get a negative gradient. Again, stressing, take a ruler, stress that point, take a ruler and you draw and you join those intercepts, your x and your y intercept. Now we come back to the sign itself, the inequality sign itself. So here they said we are looking for the region where we have the graph being above, because it's greater or equals to. So the above the line area will be this area here, including the straight line. So all the solutions that lie on the straight line are also counted. So that's gonna be that, right? The second graph we are asked to sketch there is the graph of y is less than 2x. Okay, my c, according to that, or my y-intercept is 0. So the graph is going to cut through that. And my change in y over change in x is 2 over 1. 1, 2, and 1 to the right. And then all I do is just to sketch that graph passing through the point 0 and going up that way. Extend it as far as you possibly can. I'm looking for the region below 2x. Okay, again, just to show something there. Right, this is less than 2x. So less than should be a broken line, not a solid line. So that's going to be a broken line going through that way. I'm looking for a region below that. So that's going to be all that region below this graph here. And then x is less than 3, right? X is less than 3. That's going to be a solid line going through the point 3 there. All the way vertically down. I apologize about that. And then less than, it's all the points to the left of that solid line. Less than is all the points to the left of the solid line. Again, nope, it's not going to be a solid line. Again, made the same mistake there. Hope you are learning from my mistakes. X is less than 3 is supposed to be a broken line. There we go. Now, remember the question. Go back to the question. On the axis given, show the region that satisfies the 3 inequalities. Show the region that satisfies the 3 inequalities. Now, the region that satisfies the 3 inequalities, we had x is less than 3, which is that region on the left there. We had 3x plus 2y is greater or equals to 12, which is that region there. We had y is less than 2x, which is that region there. So where all these regions overlap is that small triangular shaped region there. Okay, so let's highlight it. So this shape in the middle here, that's where all the regions overlap. So that is what we are looking for. Awesome. And that is a wrap for now, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your requests coming. I will be making the videos as you are giving me the requests. Thank you for this one. This was a good one. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Ta-ta for now. TTFN.